Today we are going to complete our hooks and of course React beginners to advanced. So welcome all. So let me see if everybody is there. Welcome all. Okay, I think I'm not live on YouTube. Why I'm not live on YouTube yet? Okay, go all. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube. So let me now start sharing my screen. Yeah. So I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so this is what we had done yesterday. It just started with hooks, but hooks is not that much big as class based, and it will be completed by today itself. Okay, or we're going to do as long as it takes. Okay, so that is there. We just started with the use state hook, which was like this, and we have seen what it actually did, and it simplified our state. So with the use of the use state, it simplified our state, which was earlier like this and this dot set state and all these things. All these things we have seen. So it has simplified everything. So now what we are going to do, use state is not yet over. So we have to do something more here. We will learn something more here in the use state. So let me do one thing here, and I have put all the GitHub links also for this. Okay, so all of those things are there. I'll make another hook counter to.js and RAFCE functional component I have created. Okay, functional component I have created. Then here const initial count equal to 0 have been given. Then const count comma set count equal to use state of initial count. I will do. Then here I come and count is yeah. If you want to ask something more and if you want some personal guidance, you can connect with us on the WhatsApp group and maybe we'll have a call. Okay, if you want to ask something. So this is just we're teaching. If it's related to career and all, we can definitely help you out. Connect with us on our WhatsApp. Maybe I will give one of my WhatsApp group. You can connect with us. We have other teachers also here who can help you with your career doubts. Okay, so button is there and reset. And I'm going to create 3 buttons here. One is like button on click equal to, I'll do a set count initial count just like this, and I will have 2 more here. One of them will be increment, one of them will be decrement, and then one of them will be count plus 1 and count -1. Well, let me give the WhatsApp group so that if someone have some doubt, you can always connect with us. So I will give one of our latest WhatsApp group. You can connect with the admins there, and be very happy to help you with your career doubts which you have. Maybe you can connect with us 1-to-1 also. Okay, so that is like that. Okay. Okay. So join the WhatsApp group. Actually, someone is asking for LinkedIn also, but LinkedIn I am not able to maybe the chat which I'm giving, it is not going to LinkedIn. Maybe Ravi is asking on LinkedIn how I make a career in React. So as I've told, this is not the perfect platform to ask all these things, because I'm right now we are doing some technical stuff. And if you want something related to career related guide, career related thing, please connect with us on WhatsApp and we'll be happy to share, because this is a big, very big thing. I don't even know means someone Ravi which you're asking on LinkedIn means what you do right now, because everybody is different. Maybe you are from some other background and I just don't maybe I'll go to LinkedIn once and I will also ping that. One sec. Okay. Join the. So this is the last time I'm telling WhatsApp group. I'm also telling it on LinkedIn. Okay, so that is there. So let's get started and let's continue. So in this thing, what I'm going to do, I have a initial count, and which is the count and set count, and three buttons are there: reset, increment, and decrement. So we can anyways do like this. So I will save it and I will actually remove this one, and hook counter 2 I'll add and save it. So use state is not defined. A usual issue which I always forgot to do, use state is a hook. So it is like this: count will increase, decrease, and reset. So this is something which will work like this. Okay, so that is there. But now what we are going to do, we are going to see the same issue which you have seen in the class-based component. If I am trying to increment something quickly, then React will throw the same error. So I'll have a button and increment 5, and it will have on click equal to increment 5. So this increment 5 function I'll create const increment 5 equal to like this, and here for let I'm just having simple for loop because I want to run something for 5 times. I is less than 5, I plus plus, set count plus 1. Okay, set count is count plus 1, not some I am using this time running this loop for 5 times so that I can know the set count 5 times. Okay, so I saved it. This increment 5 is there, but again if I this all are working fine. Basically click here, but it will go only once. Again the same problem, which is React does its own performance optimization, and this issue is seen in the class based also. So here also we'll solve this issue with the previous state concept. So here giving the previous state is even much more easier. Okay, so here instead of this thing I'll do a priv state is priv state plus 1. Okay, so that is it. So if I am using previous state here, I should use it at the other places also. So it's better to give it here also and give it here also. Okay, so these two things I'll do. Now increment 5 is incrementing 5, and decrement and decrement are both of them are working fine. So this is there, and we have seen this thing earlier also. So now use state is all good, and in comparison to your class based this dot state, but there are some problem happens here, because use state you can give it anything, like it is not an object. We have some issues here, and we'll see two special cases right now. Okay, so let us, for that I'll create another file, hook counter 3.js, and here I'll have a okay, like this. Then I'll have a const name comma set name equal to use state. So this time I'll have an object. First name is empty string, comma, last name is empty string. Okay, so these two things are there. Then here I'll have a form, and inside this form I'll have a input type text. So this one will be value equal to name dot first name, and on change equal to e set name. First name is e dot target dot value. So this one will be last name and last name, and I'll do h2. First name is name dot first name, last name is name dot last name. Save it, and we'll show this. Look, counter 3. Yeah. So what this is the problem here. So I have a object. The name is a object which is consists of this two key value pair, first name and the last name. So suppose I type something here, Nabendu. Okay, then I type something here. See, the Nabendu is gone. Again, if I type something here, I think it should go back here. Okay, so why is this issue coming? To see this issue further, I'm going to do one more thing. See, if you want to do some console.log, you can do it here, but I don't want to do console.log. I want to see what exactly is the name holding. What exactly is the name state variable holding? For that, not only in this case, if you want to see something, because this DOM will only show the string, so I can do one thing. Here I can come and do a JSON dot stringify and name. JSON dot stringify name I'll do and save it. See, by default it is coming here like this. Now I will type something here. See, when I type here, the last name has gone. When I type here, the first name has gone. In this, you can see. So this issue is happening because in React, in functional component, what happened? This state is not object by default. If you go to a class-based thing, state is by default a object. So in object has a property of merging things. Merging, if you pass something there, so it has a automatically, it does the merging, it does the updating and merging. But here it doesn't does the automatically the merging. So merging thing we have told in the ES6 also. So for that to happen, what we have to do, we have to use the spread operator. Spread operator is used to do merge. So that's why I always tell that ES6 is a must for React. So I'll do a dot 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 name, comma, and here also dot 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 name, comma. So I'm using the spread operator. I'll save it and let us see whether it is working fine. And this time I'll do Nabendu. See, when I did this thing, then what happened? The last name is still there. So the first name is still there. So it is working fine. So whenever you use the objects, when we use the object, you have to do this spread operator. What it does actually, when I'm typing this first name here, whatever dot 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 name is, whatever else is there, last name, maybe another 10 things are there, but in our case only the last name is there. So whatever the value is there, it will spread it and put it there. So this is what the spread operator does. This is something special case which you have to know when we are using this object. Okay, so that is there. Now we're done with state. We're done with the state thing. Now what we are going to do, yeah, so we are going to now learn about the another hook. So there are only two hooks which are important is in this hook based functional system. One is this use state hook, which which is used to do this dot state, changes this implement this dot state in the functional component. Now functional component has one another quality, and that is the lifecycle methods, which you have seen the lifecycle method. So those lifecycle methods also React team brought it to the functional component. So how did they brought it? They brought it through a hook. So use effect hook. But to see that thing also, we'll first see in a class-based component, because we're going to see lifecycle methods now. So there are only three lifecycle methods which are very important. One is component did mount, one is component did update, and component will unmount. We are going to see all those three, and all those three React team found out that only those three lifecycle methods are important, and those three lifecycle methods are implemented in a hook based thing. Other lifecycle method I have told earlier also, it is not important. So, and I have also told earlier that we are going to revisit the lifecycle method. So suppose in this class based component only, but I am going to have this button and all is okay, and right here something else. Click times. Okay. So this class counter I'll show now again. So now and it will okay, it will work. But what I want to do here is I want to show this click 0 times here in the title also. So how do I do that thing? Okay, so to do that thing, when this state is first time getting loaded, first time it is getting loaded the state, after this component is mounted, I want to show that thing first time. So for that, what I'm going to do, component did mount. So this is, as I told, this is a real use case scenario. Component did mount I will use, and then I'll do a document dot title. Document dot title, I can do document dot title, and then click like this dot state dot count times. Okay, so this is there, and it should be dollar here. Okay, so click this many times. Okay, so I've done this. Now I will save it. See, click 0 times is coming. Now I will increase it. This is increasing, but this is not increasing. This is not increasing because when I change the state, this get re-rendered, and we have seen that in there are two phases in lifecycle method. One is the mounting phase, one is updating phase. So in mounting phase only component did mount runs. In updating phase, component did mount doesn't run. So we have to use its equivalent, which is component did update. Again, a real scenario. So I will use a component did update I will use, and here component did update actually take two things, which is one is a prev props comma prev state, and now I will again do this same thing here. Save it, save it. Now let us see whether it is working or not. First time component did mount, through component did mount it came, and the second time also it is working fine. So this is working fine in the class based scenario, because the next time when the render function runs in the updation phase, component did update will run. So we are going to change this thing in a hook based thing. So again, this I will use the old one. So here hook count, instead of hook count I will have a I have this thing. Now let us show the hook. I don't know why it is not showing. Okay, hook counter again I have done. Now this is not there. So this is working, but how to implement these two lifecycle methods in a function component? So for this we have a hook known as a use effect hook. Use effect hook is a bit complicated, not complicated, it has got actually 3-4 configurations. So if I explain the use effect hook from the start, okay, Sir, why you are using class component in React? Future class component component using React. So can you teach functional components? So village tiny foods. I'm teaching through class-based component, functional component. If I just came now, class-based component have not gone anywhere. Class-based component will not go anywhere. In since 2020 only, functional component are being used, and in future, okay, village tiny food. Suppose. You go to a project which is like maybe 5 years old project, then what we are going to do? Then you're going to fight with your team lead that I want the all the class-based component to be changed to a functional component. No, you cannot fight with the team lead in that. They will kick you out of the job. Okay, so that is there because in bigger production projects, the class-based component, the versions doesn't get updated, and I am teaching hooks through class-based component. Okay, so that is there because I teach in that way. If you don't like it, you can go to some other channel, that is for you. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to do this component did mount and component did update. We are going to change it to a hook counter. Okay, change it to a functional component. So as I've told, in functional component we don't have lifecycle matters. So what we have a use effect hook. We have a use effect hook. So this use effect hook, we're going to come here and do a use effect hook. So here we'll have a document dot title equal to click dollar count times. Okay, so what is the greatness about this use effect hook? Use effect hook is actually a combination of a component did mount and a component did update lifecycle method. If I run it in the most basic way, so there are some other configurations are out there also. So if I save it, okay, if I save it, see the moment I saved it, the click 0 times had come here. Okay, and then I will click here and see it is going. So actually this use effect hook, it is replacing both component did mount and component did update. Both of them it is replacing. So this is the greatness of a hook based component, means it is replacing this thing. It is replacing the both of these things, like a component did mount and component did update. Okay, so that is it. So but it doesn't end here. It doesn't end here, and we are going to look further. Okay, we're going to look further, and the thing is there. We are now going to look into conditional use effect, and as usual I'm again going to show it, start with the class based component, because that is how I teach. Because if I'm going to tell you, okay, you're going to learn why it is very much important to tell through that way, because I'm not going to directly tell about the 4 different ways of use effect, why the use effect was even created. Okay, so use effect is the complicated hook because it is replacing 3 lifecycle methods from a class-based component. Okay, so now we are going to learn about the conditional use effect. Conditional use effect we're going to learn. Again, we're going to come here in the previous one, and here I'm going to do a name and this. I'm going to have one more thing here, and here I'll come and do a okay. So I'll have a input text value is this dot state dot name, and on change equal to e is this dot set state name is e dot target dot value. Okay, so I have again this thing, and I will have a console log here, which is like updating document title, updating document title. Okay, so I have another thing like a state. So let me again have to do this class counter again. So class counter, I'll do and save it. So now what I have here, if I inspect and if I go to the console, okay, so I have two different state variables. One is this count, one is this name. Okay, so and this name is I'm going to change it through this thing. So now what I'm going to do, one sec. Okay, that is okay. Okay, so now if I click here, see this, it is increasing, and I'm also getting the updating document title console log. This is very important. And then I'm going to write something here, then also this document title is getting updated. But actually I don't want the this to be run when I'm typing it here, because in the component did update, I am not updating this input. I'm only updating this document title. I'm only updating the title. So why it is running? So React is all about performance optimization. This is not performance optimization. This is forcibly running this thing. So in a class-based component, how do we fix this issue? Because I don't want when I'm writing it here, this should be run. So how do I fix this issue? So in class-based thing, how do we fix it? We have it if priv state dot count not equal to this dot state dot count. So if state dot count is not equal to this state dot count, what is this? I will tell soon. Okay. So if I come here and if I click here, see it is updating and it is getting updating document title. But if I write something here, it is not updating. Why it is happening like this? And now the perfect optimization has been done. So why it is doing this, previous state always take into effect the previous state. So when I am clicking this thing, so previous state maybe it was 4, previous state is 4, and the current state become 5. So both of them are not equal, so it has gone down. But when I'm writing something here, so the previous state is also 5, current state is also 5, so it is not going inside. So this is how the performance optimization is done in a class based. Now we are going to change the same thing in a hook base. So let us do that. Here again I'm going to implement the same thing. So const name comma set name equal to use state, and empty string is like this. And then okay, so here again I will have this CLJ use effect updating document title, and then I'm going to have again like this input type text value equal to name, and on change equal to e set name e dot target dot value. Okay, so I put the same thing here. Now I have to use this hook. I don't know why it is not showing hook counter. Now again, I have refresh it again. I have this thing, and if I click it, use effect is doing, and if I write something here also, the use effect will be done. So how to implement that same logic? How to have something like this use effect will only run when the count is updated and not the name is updated. So in use effect, it is very important. So very easy. So this is some things which you need to know why it is easier in a hook based thing, why it is not there in a class based, and how to implement what are the life cycle method is very important to know, or else what is the use effect doing? It is doing some voodoo magic, people will think. Okay, so here I'll do, I have to take a bracket in the second. So this is the second configuration of this use effect. Here I'll take it as a count, because I want only count to be as the initial component did mount way it will run. But after that, it will only run if the count is updated, not the name is updated. Okay, so I will click it, and now again I will save it. And okay, one sec. Now again, see this is coming. Now if I click it here, it will be changed, and here to write something, it will not be changed. But here the logic is different. Logic is much more easy. I'm mentioning here it should be updated only when the count is run, only not the name is run. And in bigger project, you'll see if there will be more than 10, 15 state variables, and you can give a comma with them. Maybe it is depending upon 3, 4. You can give a comma, and it will be like this. Okay, so use effect is not completed. Use effect has a lot of other things also. Okay, so but for the next thing, I'm not going to take this thing. I'm going to do it in a from a different thing. So let me come here, and we're going to again create a class based thing first, and then change it to a hook based. So uh, class mouse dot js I'll do, and rcc I'll do, and for default class mouse. Okay, so here what I'm going to have are const, and then x is 0, and there is a x and y variable I'm taking here, and you're going to see how I'm going to control it. X and y I have taken is 0. Now inside this I will have one x is this dot state dot x, and y is this dot state dot y. Okay, these two things are there. Then I will have a, so there is a property of client X and client. We're going to see. Let me complete the code. So in this code, I want to have an event listener, and the best place to have an event listener should be used only once. So in JavaScript also we have event listener. In JavaScript code we put event listener anywhere, but in React code, if you want to put event listener, you should always put it in a component did mount, because it runs after everything has been mounted. So you should put a event listener at that place. Component did mount I'll do, and then window dot add event listener, and the event listener is mouse move comma this dot log, any functions I write this dot log mouse position, and this dot log mouse position I will write for this log mouse position, log mouse position equal to e this dot set state x is e dot client. So this is a DOM thing, e dot client x. What this e dot client x does, it give me the position of client, position of x, and this is something which is there. Y is e dot client y. So these two things are done. e.clientText and e.clientY. Okay, so now what will happen? Let me put this class mouse here. Now see, initially it is showing this x and y because it is coming here, and once the component is been loaded, once the module is been loaded, component did mount will run, and it will add an event listener for mouse move. So the moment it will detect the simple mouse move, it will run this thing, it will run this lock mouse position, x and y, whatever is changed, it will change it, and then it will run the render. So it will run it a lot of times. So if I come here and if I move my mouse, it will be moving the, it will be updating it. So this is, but the main thing to notice here is that I have a component did mount. I don't have a component did update or anything. Only component did mount I want, which should fire one event listener during the additional thing. Okay, so now we are going to change it in a hook based thing. So let us change it into a hook based thing. So I will come here and I will do a hook mouse dot js, and then RAFCE here I'll do, and then const x comma set x equal to use state, because I want two state variables. So like this I'll have, and then y comma set y. Now x is only x comma y is y. Okay, so now I'll have the effect use effect. Okay, then let me have a console log also. We're going to use it soon. Console log, we're going to see the last thing of our use effect. Hook use effect called. Okay, so like this I'll have, then I will have this again this same thing, windows.add event listener. I'll have this thing, I'll come here, there's no this keyword, so I'll remove this keyword in a class based thing. Okay, but and let me have this log mouse. Okay, so const log mouse position equal to, it will take the e it will take, then it will be a set x is e dot client x, and set y is e dot client y. So these two things are there, but the problem is that if I run it like this, this event listener will fire a lot of times, because right now my use effect is in the mode which is known as component did mount plus component did update. It will run during the initial mount also, and run during the updation also. See, the moment the set axis will be changed, it will be updating it. It will run the updating phase, and when the updating phase run, again the use effect will run. So I want to limit the use effect to run only once, like a component did mount. So how to do that thing? So to do that thing, I have to come here and do a comma again, but I have to pass a empty bracket. This is one of the main way to use the use effect. Like a component did mount, I'm using it. So you have to use the empty brackets. I will save it now, and then I will go here again. Hook mouse. I'll do save it. Now see, one time only it is called and it is working fine. So this is how the hook mouse in the component did mount way, use effect in the component did mount way we write. So now we are going to learn about one more thing, which is the use effect with cleanup. We have not seen the component will unmount, okay, earlier. but we are going to see the component will unmount now. Okay, so there is something, and then we're going to change it to a hook based thing. So here what I am going to do here, first I need to add some console log. First again we're going to do in a class based thing, then we're going to do the hook based. So console log here I'll do, and component did mount called, and here also I'll do a class mouse position. Okay, so these two things are there. Now I'm going to have a new component here, which will be known as the mouse container dot js. Mouse container dot js I'm going to do, and again here RAFC, but it will be a functional component, because what it is going to do, this functional component mouse container, I'll now call the mouse container. Okay, mouse container I'm going to call, save it. Now I'll come here, and here the mouse container will be a simple file, like it will be, one sec. Okay. So this mouse container will first have a const display comma set display equal to state use state and true. Then I'll have this in this return I'll have a button like this. Okay, button, and in this button I'll have a toggle display. I'll have, now I'll have a on click equal to the set display, which is initially true. I'll set this set display to be not of display. So it means that if the display is true, it will make it false. If it is false, it will make it true. So like this, not of true. And now depending upon that, display and I'll use the and operator. So this I've told earlier also, and I will show the class mouse I'll show. So means if the display is true, which will be initially true, then the class mouse will be shown. So the moment I click on this, the display will become false and the class mouse should not be shown. So I'll save it here. Now see, the moment I did it, in the class mouse is shown and component did mount called was been called. Okay, now I will move it and see a lot of time class mouse log mouse position has been called, log mouse position has been called. But if I toggle this display, okay, toggle this display means what? Now I'm not seeing the class mouse anymore, means it is gone. But if I move my mouse here, still it is class mouse log mouse position is not. This thing is known as a memory leak in React. So the component is actually unmounted. Class mouse component is unmounted because I have just killed it. It is unmounted, but then also it is some logic of it is still running. Then also this event listener is still running. So to solve this kind of a cases, what we have here, okay, so we have something known as a component will unmount. This is a live comment which I have told that I will tell later on. So now I'm telling, and CLG component will unmount called. So here what I'm going to do, there like a add event listener, there is a remove event listener. So I'll do this thing. So I'll save it again, and I will remove this thing, and I will refresh this thing. So again, component did mount is called. So then log mouse position is been call. Then I'll do a toggle display. Component will unmount is called. Component will unmount is called. Now no memory leak is there. No memory leak is there. So this is how it is there. Now we have to do the same thing in a hook based thing. So let us do that thing. Okay, so I'll do a hook, not here. Here instead of class mouse I'll have a hook mouse. So hook mouse I'm going to have, again save it, and I should have another console log here, clg hook mouse log mouse position. Let's save it, and now okay, I will refresh it. So hooks is been called, hook use effect has been called, and then a lot of time hook log mouse is gone. Toggle display gone. The component is unmounted, but still the thing is there. Still the memory leak is there. So how to solve it? How to solve this? Again, we have to solve it with the component will unmount code. But how to have this component will unmount lifecycle method in a hook based thing? So in a hook based thing, how do we have this unmounting kind of a thing? So here we cannot do anything here. It is like that only. Here we have something known as a return here, then this, and then this kind of return, and clg, maybe I'll write a component unmounting code, unmounting code, and I'll have this thing. But of course without the this keyword, I'll have save it. Now again I'll come back here and refresh it. Again hook use effect is called log mouse toggle display. So the moment I toggle display, say this component unmounting code is been run. Now nothing, no memory leak is there. So this thing will only be run when the component is been unmounted. Exactly equivalent to what we have it here. Component will unmount. So this is what is all about it. So now we are coming to the one of the main topic here, which is how to do actually API calls. So API call, we can do it like I will open the earlier code. We have seen API call, and I'm going to show only one API call, and post item. I need this thing, post item, and post list. Okay, post list. So this post list was there, and you've seen this thing, post list, and here we were using the Axios to do the API call. I can use the Axios to do the API call here in a functional component also, but I no, not Axios, fetch API. But I'm going to show another thing known as Axios, which is very commonly used in React. So you can use both, but here also you can use the fetch API also. Fetch API doesn't need anything to install, but Axios is one thing to install. So I'm going to do that. It's your assignment to do it with fetch API. So for Axios, what we need to do, we need to install Axios, npm it's a small library Axios, and we're again going to do the API call like this. Okay, and one more thing, actually I am going to have this post item here because I want to put it here only, this post item. So let me do one thing, this post item dot js I'll have, and I will have this thing all, and I will have a because it uses a post item dot css. I'm going to pass the data here. The main thing is that. So I will save it. But this thing is also using styled component, so maybe I have to use the install that also. So I'll do npmi styled component, or else it will not. Okay, so let us save. Now let us create a post list. .js, I'll do post list.js, but it will be a functional component, RFCE, not like this. Okay, it will be a functional component, and again we need to do something like this because we're going to hit the same API endpoint. So, but how do we take the state? Take the state through const posts, comma, set posts equal to use state and empty array, because this is how it will come. Okay, so that is it. Now we are going to use Axios here, and but like component did mount, how do we use a component did mount here? Component did mount we use through use effect in a hook based thing. So use effect, I'm going to use effect, and there I'm going to do like this. Use effect in a component did mount way is like this empty array. And as I told, I'm going to use the Axios, not the fetch API, the Axios. Okay, so Axios, Axios. I have to import Axios also. Axios dot get. Axios is much more easy. Axios dot get. Maybe I will directly pass this endpoint. Why to take a if different? Axios dot get this. Then I'm going to use the then and catch way. So here I have used async await, but then and catch way is much more easier here. So I'll do a then, and then I'll do a rest. Okay, so CLG rest, and I can have a catch also here. Maybe I'll have it like this. Dot catch error with CLG error. So let us see that whether the data is coming or not. Okay, the post list. So yeah, the data is coming. Actually, rest dot data, the data is coming. In the data is coming. So we just have to, now we have to show it and all. And for that, what we need to do here, I'll do set posts, but it is rest dot data. And when I'm getting the data, it is like that array of object, and then I can directly use this like return which I've used earlier. This return I'll use, and this time it is post only. It is not this dot state dot post. So this post item I will import it, also save it, and if I go here, all of my data is coming. All of the 100 data is coming. So to do the API call, like the post call with Axios, it is also very much easier in comparison to your where is that post form. Okay, so all these things are not there, so that is again a task. You do it on yourself. It is not that much easy. Access dot post is there. It is very much simpler than this, so that's a homework. Please do that thing. Okay, so you'll know the post, but most of the time you'll get the get API only. So the now we're done with this thing. Okay, so now we are going to see one more thing, like there is a this we have seen this okay, so this so this context API we've seen here, context API. We are going to see now the use context hook. Use context hook in your functional component. Okay, so use context hook, again the same problem which I have told earlier. The prop drilling problem is there. So this I have told earlier also, this pop drilling problem. So pop drilling problem, if I want to pass some data from component A to component C, I have to forcibly pass it through A and B if I'm passing through props, and this is known as pop drilling problem. I want to pass data from app component directly to component C. So how we do that thing? Okay, we do it through context API like this, context API like this. So let us do that in a class base, now in a function, not class, a function. So I'll come here and I will again do the same thing. Have a child first, child.js. Okay, then here RAFCE and maybe a h1 child. Then I will have a parent.js, RAFCE, and in this parent I will call the child. Okay, then similar to the earlier concept only, I'll have a grand parent dot as RAFCE. Grandparent will call the parent, and the app.js will call the grandparent. Now this context API, we can here we have created in a different file, but we can directly create in the app.js only. So this time I'm going to create directly in the app.js only. Why to create it in a different file? So first thing I'm going to do is that export const user context equal to react dot create context. We have to use, actually React we have not imported it. React used to be imported earlier automatically, but nowadays they don't give import React from React. We have to do, so react dot create context. This is how we create the context. And as I told earlier, we have to wrap the provider like here, to wrap the provider. Okay, so I will do user context dot provider value is equal to do. Okay, so like this, and this grandparent will come here. We'll again see the same problem first. So we are going to pass it to the child. So child again, we have to do it like this, like this complicated way we have to do it. So let us do that. So here I will, maybe I'll remove it, and I'll have a user context dot consumer. So I have to consume it, and then maybe I will have a directly have a user. I can have it like here only, not have two line actually. Child component with value like this user. I'll do save it. Now go here. I see that Nabindu is getting passed perfectly like this, but again it's a complicated way. So why not make it even a bit more complicated? Okay, so in the class based thing we have not seen it complicated that much, but we can make it complicated if we pass another thing like here user context. I'll have a, suppose I want to pass another data, means I want to pass some another data like props also. You can pass multiple props. Here I'm passing multiple data. So if I want to pass multiple data in provider, again I have to wrap it. That is something which you cannot change. So channel context dot provider, and again here this grandparent will come inside and save it, and value is equal to the web depth. Please do subscribe. You're not yet subscribed. Okay. So now this value we're getting it. Now how to use it in the chat? So let us use it in the chat. And here where the complication starts. Okay. So I will actually cut this out. I want both the data here. Okay. So for that, what I need to do here, after this return I have to do, then this, then channel channel context dot consumer, like this, then 𝐻𝐴NL channel, like this, and then again return like this, and then the, not this return, just I need a h1, okay, like this, and h2 channel is done, save it. And it is coming, the web is coming, but it is coming, but see how complicated it has become. This, so if I pass another, it will become even more complicated, because you have to do it inside this return. So this render pro pattern is very complicated and we don't use it. So here where the use context API come into our rescue. Here for a rescue, we have this context type thing. But there is a problem with this thing. Too many keywords are here, and in the class based thing. And the other thing is that I can use only once, because this dot context is there. I can pass only one data, not more than that. Okay. So now again we're going to do it in the parent, because I don't want to do it in the child. So here const user equal to use context, and user context, use context is the hook, and user context is just we have added it, and const channel, and this is user and channel are not keyword. Okay, use context is the hook, and then channel channel context I have to import. Okay, like this, these two things I have to do, and just you have to do these two things, and then I can easily show this thing. Maybe the use context I write, and user, and so I'll say. So only this much you have to do. See, this logic is even simpler than this thing. You can make any variable name and you have to use it like this, and you can use it anywhere, and see it is coming also fine. So that's why hooks are the latest and the greatest. And if you're going to start a new project, anybody started with hooks, but as I told earlier, generally you are going to use in a work in a production project which is like 2-3 years old, then you're going to use it in the class based. Class based is required because you need to learn what the hell is this lifecycle methods and all. Okay, so that is there. Now we'll come to the last topic of React, beginners React. Okay, so last topic, and which is the use ref hook. Again, this use ref hook is exactly similar to what we were having here in the your this class based the ref demo. We just use the react.create ref. So we're trying to use this only here. So for that, me comment this all out. Maybe this all also. Okay, so now we'll again have a refs demo.js, and we're going to convert this thing only into a hook based thing. Okay, so RAFCE. Okay. Then refs demo, refs demo. I'm calling the refs demo. Okay, so now I want to have hooks. So how to have hooks? There is no constructor. So constructor again, for the hooks also you have a use ref hook. So I will have this thing like two hooks. One is this const user ref, not use ref, is equal to use ref is a, not user ref, use ref, it's a hook. User ref is a hook, like this I will do. And then const comment ref equal to use ref, like this again, and it should be O, not P. So like this I'll have. Now I will have the same thing, so why not copy this thing? Okay, so on submit, so first I'll get rid of this keywords always. So this keyword is not there, and actually everything else is like same, only the this keyword I've removed. Everything else will be like same, like use ref, you have to user ref and comment ref. I will add it like this. Now we need to have this also, like handle submit, how to get the data. So handle submit, I'll have e.prevent default. So again there is no this keyword, there is user ref dot current dot value, comment ref dot current dot value. Let me save it and come here, handle submit. Okay, so handle submit is giving me error because in functional component we should have this const. Okay, so now I'll have this inspect console and have this is good and submit it, and this is coming. Okay, now let me do one more thing. Let me give the final attendance. Final attendance. Okay, so that is there. So this is working fine, but I want the same thing, how to do this focus which I was having in component did mount. So what is the equivalent of component did mount? The equivalent of component did mount is use effect, and like this use effect in with the empty array. This is component did mount, and then again the same thing I'm going to have user ref dot current dot focus, because I want the focus there. Okay, I'll save it. Now I'll come here and I need to refresh it. Okay, see the focus is coming. Focus is coming. Okay, so submit it and see. Remember, this is the end, and yes, this is the end of the beginners React. And what I'm planning to have one advanced React also, not like a 4-day session, maybe a 2-3 hours on a Saturday sometime. And that advanced React will contain your React is done actually, but React is a very small library. It is not like an Angular complete framework. Okay, so React is actually incomplete without two things. One is known as React router and one is known as Redux. They are part of advanced React because they are not a part of React. They are third party library which we have to use, and both of these things I want to tell. So context API also we can do like this data we are passing from one here, but sometimes the state management, the global state management is very much required. So global statement management Redux has been used. So I want to teach React Redux also. I've taken Redux classes earlier on the channel, but I want to teach tell this Redux again and the React router. So I will take a React advanced class soon, in which mainly we will do from here what to left here. From here we'll do from here like Redux and React router, all those things we are going to do. And it will most probably happen on next Saturday. I'll try to do it on next Saturday, because this Saturday, tomorrow, we are going to have a 8-hour long web development boot camp from 9 to 5. Okay, this generally we have once in a month. So if you want to again revise those things, so we're going to cover everything in complete, like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We're going to complete in. We're going to do it in completely. So if you want to do that thing, or if your friends were going to want to do that thing, please tell them, and they can come in tomorrow's class. 9 a.m. sharp will start, and again the participant certificate will be given. It's like a 1-day boot camp, or our signature dish, our signature thing, which we have, which is happening only once in a month. So please do attend it. And with this, I'll end this stream. Thank you all for watching. Hope you like the ReactJS beginners to advanced. Soon going to have a ReactJS advanced series also, in which Redux and React Router will be taught.